It shrinks the exposure. Now there are 3 types of active defense. You need to know these. One is annoyance. We're just going to annoy the attacker. We'll waste their time. We'll make them spend time on a honeypot or lead them down a false trail. Make it easy for them to be spotted, easy for us to detect them. Another one is attribution. We're going to identify who you are. We're going to trace you back to your source or your location or even you, the individual. And then the last one, this one you have to be really careful about. This is attack. You're going to hack back. Now it's controversial, it's risky, and it could be illegal. So some attacker attacks you, you attack them back, you delete their data, you take revenge. You really need to be careful because you'll make them angry and they'll hit you even harder. Let's explore the 3 main categories of active defense in cybersecurity. The concept begins with understanding how each approach functions within a security framework. Initially, we encounter annoyance-based defense strategies. This approach focuses on deliberately wasting an attacker's time and resources. In practice, this involves deploying honeypots or creating false trails that make attackers easily detectable, while they pursue non-valuable targets. Moving to attribution-focused defense, this strategy centers on identifying and tracing attackers. The process involves tracking methods to determine the attack's origin, potentially revealing the attacker's location or identity. This approach helps security teams gather valuable intelligence about threat actors. The third category introduces attack-based defense, also known as hackback. This strategy requires careful consideration due to its significant risks. When implementing this approach, organizations must understand that retaliatory actions like deleting attacker data or seeking revenge can escalate the situation. Notably, this method often operates in legally uncertain territory and can trigger more severe counterattacks. Critical to this discussion is understanding that attack-based defense, while technically possible, carries substantial legal and security risks. Security professionals should evaluate these approaches carefully, considering both technical capabilities and potential consequences before implementation. Let's explore the critical concepts of advanced cyber attacks. At its core, the payload serves as the primary component that executes the intended damage in an attack scenario. When discussing zero-day attacks, also referred to as O-day attacks, we encounter a particularly sophisticated threat. What sets these attacks apart is their unprecedented nature. They exploit previously unknown vulnerabilities before security teams or vendors can develop countermeasures. In practice, this means there are no existing patches or defensive measures available when the attack occurs. Moving to the concept of daisy chaining, also known as pivoting, this technique involves a strategic sequence of attacks. The process operates by using an initial breach point, such as a compromised web server in the DMZ, as a launching pad for subsequent attacks. For instance, attackers might leverage their access to the DMZ to systematically target internal network components. These attacks work in sequence, with each successful breach providing a foothold for the next intrusion attempt. Consider a scenario where an attacker first compromises an external-facing server, then uses that position to access internal systems, and continues this pattern to reach deeper into the network infrastructure. From a security perspective, these techniques present significant challenges for cybersecurity teams. The absence of known defenses against zero-day attacks, combined with the strategic depth of daisy chaining, requires a comprehensive and proactive security approach. Critical to this process is understanding that many significant cyber attacks initially emerge as zero-day threats. Subsequently, vendors must analyze the exploit and develop appropriate patches once the attack pattern becomes known.